Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another harsh shit reaction. Another comment from harsh shit on the last Genshin reaction was the top comment. I'm gonna have to put like a limit on how many of his requests I get to, because somebody else needs to get a request at some point. 3 in a row is a few too many. Maybe let somebody else have a highlight once in a while, alright harsh shit? Jesus Christ. I have 2 requests from his comment this time around. I'm not even gonna try to read the name of the first one, but the second one is Bequeathed to the Beloved, and I guess with these being about 2 minutes each, I figured just getting to them both makes the most sense at that length. So I guess without further ado, I'll start with the one that I can't pronounce, and we shall get started. Let's go! I know these are both still Natlin, which you know I'm gonna be okay with. There it is. Ooh, this one's a little salsa. Maybe more samba. I'm kind of wondering where the energy was gonna go there, but it stayed pretty chill. Flute like butter. Ooh. A little bit more texture in there with the brass. You know I love it. Woo. Got a little fancy there with some of those runs. Ending was almost goofy. So I let curiosity get the best of me, and I looked up what the language was in the title just because it was so odd to my eyes. I had to know where it was from. Big shocker, I had a feeling it was probably some sort of Central America, South America corner of the world, and of course Aztec is definitely in that pocket as well. So here we are looking at Nahuatl, which is the language that it is, and that's very interesting to look at. I don't know who decided that it was a good idea to make the title in that language. I think that's sick. I think that's legitimately cool. Again, another cultural share there, just letting people get curious enough, like myself, to go look it up, and even going as far as to jump down rabbit holes about it just to see where it comes from and where the scarcity came from. And that's the sort of thing that I love about these sorts of choices, allowing people to have that free will to go and learn something. I love learning random stuff like this, and it'll be something I'll lock away in my long-term memory for I don't know how long. I have a lot of random info like that. You can blame the tism for it, but I love that sort of thing because of it. It feeds that desire to learn for my brain, even at my age. So that's like really cool, and I love that. The song itself, really fun. I don't really have too much to say about songs that are this long because it is difficult to pull very specific things out of something that has such a short runtime overall. There's not so many details that I can really dig into. It's just fun. It's still consistently clear that they are having a great time composing for this part of the world, and they're just loving every second of it, and just general desire to include these cultures and their flair into it. And they've never not done that, but again, specifically, I say this in every single one of my Natlin reactions, they are doing it here so well with Natlin stuff and blending these areas of the world together. I love it so much. This one, like many of the others, had a lot of fun with the brass, and especially the flute and the brass kind of playing off each other together during that one section, kind of playing with this very smooth sound going into a much more cold and rigid sound, but still very smooth. The playing on that trumpet was insanely clean. Big shocker, you know who they're working with. So the musicality is never really a question for me in these games, and these compositions just harness all of that raw skill and talent so well, and it's just fun. It's just fun. I don't know what else I can say about this one than it's just a good time. I love this energy. I love the influence. I especially think that the naming thing is cool in this case. That's really my main takeaway from this song, and it's not even part of the song, so to speak, but that's still really neat. These sorts of cultural shares are one of my favorite parts about Natlan, so like, why wouldn't it be my favorite thing, right? But now I get to listen to Bequeathed to the Beloved and see what they're pulling from inspiration-wise on that song, if it's the same part of the world, if it's maybe a little bit more of the African side. I won't know until I listen, so let's get on to that one. Okay, definitely still in the Central America kind of spot. But what kind of energy are we going to get off this one? We got them chill vibes. Who needs a vocalist when the guitar can sing, you know? That's some really crispy percussion. Oh, this one's gorgeous. And there it is. Short, sweet, to the point. Completely different vibe from the other one. Ooh, oh man. Okay, you will never not find me loving the sound of a gourd drum and being able to pick it out of a crowd. I love the sound of a gourd drum. The rim click of a gourd is just so beautifully characteristic. It's so crispy. It's so sharp. It has such a presence, especially when you mix it so aggressively like they did here. They really gave that thing a front row seat, just dead center. It was so beautiful. Such an aggressive click, and it feels so good leading this band in this case. Usually people think of percussion as being kind of the backbone, and a lot of people will say that, and I also agree. Drums are largely the backbone of any composition, but in this case, they really pushed it to the front and they let it drive the rhythm all the way through, and it felt so good. And then just having an ocarina in there too, you're just playing with my heart too much. It's beautiful. What a beautiful instrument. The fact that they just were like, you know what we need right here, like an alto, maybe a high tenor ocarina. I'm not sure what key that ocarina is in, but man, just doesn't matter. Love the ocarina. Such a beautiful sound. Really high quality ocarina there too. You can just tell by the sound quality of an ocarina, the balance of the airiness in an ocarina versus how much note and tone it actually puts out. Almost definitely clay by the sound it had. It was very resonant. I just, oh, you don't get that sound out of a plastic ocarina. That is 100% gotta be a clay or at least a ceramic ocarina. It just had a beautiful resonant sound to it. And that's something that you can only really get out of the earth, you know? Like the ones that are really crafted out of real material and not artificial in the slightest. Such a beautiful sound. I love it so very much. This was such a gorgeous track too. Like the other one, I was like, I can't really talk too much about it. There's not too much to say about it. It was a really upbeat sound. It was beautiful. I enjoyed that. It had a lot of good energy. This one made my mind go to a place where I was walking on the mesa, just enjoying the large scope of basically nothing in front of me, just caverns everywhere and being able to see for miles and the sun beating down on your head. It's basically the exact song I would put with the image that was on the screen. It's exactly that sound, what I would associate with it. Maybe a little bit more desert, but you know, otherwise very largely the same. And God, it is perfect. That's the type of sound I've been waiting to hear out of this area. That blend, that energy is just so gorgeous and it's so peaceful. Oh God, I'm vibrating on that one. It itched all the right spots in my brain. I am adoring the way that one sounded. It maybe won't be my favorite one out of the Natlin area, but it is definitely up there in the vibes category. It is high up there for that energy. I would listen to this song laying in an open field and just existing. You know, it's one of those types of tracks. The first one was really fun, but this one just hit me in such a different way. But this one's definitely going to be topping the other on my own personal scoreboard. But either way, two great songs. Again, Harshit, great picks here. But also, like I said at the beginning, maybe let somebody else get top comment next time. So I'm actually going to not pick Harshit's comment. Even if it is the top liked comment, I'm going to avoid him for at least a video. I love you, Harshit. Don't get me wrong. It's not a personal thing. I just want to get other people doing stuff as well. I actually did the same thing yesterday with the VTuber reaction. I've had a lot of Toa songs from Toa Tokiyami, and I'm like, you know what? I need somebody else. So it's never anything personal. I love her as a musician as well. She's got a great voice, but I've heard her for like a month in a row now, and it's like, okay, next one. You know, like I want to see other people throw stuff in. As much as I respect the dedication to getting your comments at the top, I gotta let somebody else have their chance too. But yeah, thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you have something you want to request personally and it's not from Harshit, let me know down below and I of course will give it a shot. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!